So the moment has finally arrived. I'm going to show you how I developed my first roll of black and white film. I'm so excited about this. I received my developing products 2 weeks ago, and after that, last weekend, I developed my first roll and it was an amazing experience. I'm going to show you in this video the whole process, all the information I gathered. I did a lot of research to do this because I was nervous. So I hope this is useful for you, maybe as a tutorial or as a way to get familiar with the process, which is totally fun. I want to say that it's very convenient in terms of money. If I develop 6 rolls of black and white film, I'm already paying less than in the lab, which is great. And of course it requires more time and effort, but for me it was a very exciting experience, so I think I'm going to do this a lot. I hope not to come back to the lab. I know that maybe after a while, maybe if you have been developed for 1 or 2 years your own roles, it can get a little boring, but for me, oh my god, it was so exciting. I felt like a total badass scientist, so you have to do it. Okay, so now let me tell you all the products and tools I use. So, ingredients. You need a developing tank. Mine is a Patterson and it has a capacity for 2 rolls of 120. And remember the spirals too. Also you need plastic globes. Remember, you want to be safe because these are chemicals. You also need a funnel. If it's pink, much better. No, I'm joking. It can be any color you want. Also you need a cooking thermometer. And a 1 liter measuring jar. Mine is plastic, but much better if it's a glass jar. And a stirring stick. I had to use Chinese sticks because I forgot about it, so please do get a proper stirring stick. Also plastic bottles, 2 of them. Mine are from a photography store and they are made for chemicals. You also need fixer. I use Ars Imago FX Universal Fixer. And your developing product. Mine is Kodak D-76. I will tell you how I prepared it. Also you need a timer. I'm sorry, it looks awful, the recording here, but it's a timer. And also a plastic container, big enough so you can put your plastic bottles inside. Okay, so I decided to use the developer Kodak D-75. This comes in powder, so you have to prepare it. It's pretty simple to prepare, everyone can do it. You just need to follow the instructions that come in the package. I'm going to show you what I did, but it's super simple. I mean, there's no difficulty in this, so don't be scared about it. I repeat, don't be scared about it, because I was very scared about the whole process. I'm not good at chemistry, I'm not a scientist, so I was scared that everything worked properly, but it's just a process of following instructions, you know. It's like following a cooking recipe. It's not really difficult, so don't be scared about it. Just be very organized and have all your notes next to you so you know exactly what to do. But it's not difficult, it just has a lot of steps, okay? So first of all, for the D-76 you have different proportions of water that you can use. I decided to use what is called full strength or stock, which means that you basically dissolve the powder on 800 milliliters of 50 degrees Celsius water. You use your cooking thermometer for this to measure the correct temperature of the water. You stir it until it's completely dissolved, and then you put 200 milliliters of tap water and stir it again. So in that way you will have 1 liter of developer, and you have to put that in your plastic bottle. I mark the bottle with the date in which I prepare the product, and also with the name of the product, just not to make a mistake. These chemics can be reused, and depending on the brand you can reuse them certain amount of times or for certain period of time. So just check in the package for how long you can use your products and how many times you can use your products. And in that way you can also make the calculations of, okay, I want this to be profitable enough, so I'm going to develop at least 6 rolls this month, for example. Okay, so meanwhile the developer gets colder, you have to prepare your fixer. I use our Imago fixer, the one I showed you before, and I also had to prepare it. It was again very simple. I just have to prepare the concentrated product with just tap water. You have to follow the instructions of the product, and it depends on what you want, the proportions of the product you are using. I decided to use 1 part of concentrated solution with 5 parts of tap water. That was it. Then you stir it and you're done. And you put this liquid on another plastic bottle. And the result of this is called the fixer working solution. Okay, so there is something called a developing chart. Here you will have a list of different rolls and different products and the proper amount of time you need to develop those certain rolls with those certain products. So I personally use Ilford HP5 400 and the developer Kodak D-76. So the amount of time that was adequate for my developing process was 7.5 minutes. So take a pencil, write down how long do you need to do this for, because it's going to be very useful to have your notes right next to you and you're doing the whole process. Okay, so now you have all your products ready, you know for how long you need to develop, so now it's when the real action starts and also the fun part. So okay, so first of all you're going to make sure to be in a dark room, 100% dark, or to use a changing bag. I don't have a changing bag, I just locked myself on my living room, which was completely dark, and I did the process of putting the roll on the spiral. Okay, this I think is the most challenging part. I'm going to leave you below the tutorial I used, but I developed a 120 roll first, and it might be a little different to put a 35mm roll, so just look for a tutorial in YouTube that suits your requirements. If you need a 35mm tutorial, just go for it, and if you need a 120 tutorial, just go for it. I tell you it's a little bit challenging because it's in complete dark, but it's doable. I mean, don't be terribly scared about it. I was anxious about the process, but I did it. I didn't even practice first. I recommend you to practice first, but I didn't because I didn't have a blank roll to play with. But if you have, just practice with it, and you are going to be able to do it. I mean, don't be scared about it as I was. It's totally doable. Okay, so you lock yourself in the room or in your closet, or you use your changing bag, and you're going to put the roll on the spiral, and then you're going to put the spiral when it's completely loaded. Just a second, you're going to put it in your tank. So you put this here, at least mine works like that. I don't know if all tanks are similar, they must be, but better to check the brand of your tank and see how this works. Okay, you load your spiral, then you put inside the tank Then you put this tab and you make sure it's totally safe, okay? And now you can turn on the lights and then you go wherever you're going to develop your first roll. I personally went to my bathroom and I used the bathtub to make the whole process, okay? Alright, the instructions of my developing product said that it had to be at 20 Celsius degrees. Okay, so how did I make this product to be at that temperature? You just take the plastic container, you put warm water on it, not very warm because we just want 20 degrees Celsius. Don't put boiling water, just water at 20 degrees or 30 degrees, no more than that. And then you put the plastic bottle inside the container and you open your liquid and you put your thermometer in and you're going to see how the temperature rises, okay? Okay, so we have our tank with our negatives inside. We have our developing product ready. We have our notes. We have our fixture. So we are ready to start this process, okay? Okay, so first of all, you put the developer inside the tank and then you have to start agitating in the following way. So you pour the developer in the tank and make sure to tap it safely. And you start to agitate, okay? So first of all, you have to agitate 30 seconds. And if you notice, I'm agitating gently, not shaking it. That's important. Also, as I agitate, I rotate the tank. You agitate 30 seconds and then you tap it. You tap it to get rid of the bubbles. That's important. After that, you wait 30 seconds. So you wait for the minute to finish. And then you agitate for 4 times in 10 seconds. And then you tap it. And then you just wait there until the minute finishes. By the way, I did some research about the agitation process and I realized that more or less every photographer agitates in its own way, depending on the results they want. And also the different brands of developing product recommend different periods of agitation. I picked this one for no particular reason, just because I researched and I realized that a lot of people use this form of agitation and apparently it works well. And it actually worked well for me. So you choose your form, but I recommend the one I use. When the minute finishes, start agitating again. This time you agitate 4 times in 10 seconds. You tap it and wait 50 seconds until the minute is completed. After, you repeat 4 agitations in 10 seconds with a 50-second pause until the developing time finishes. In my case, this was 7.5 minutes. By the way, if you research and you see what an immersion means, it basically means the process of agitation. Okay, that's good to know. After that, you put the developer back into the bottle. Remember, you can use it again. And then you put tap water as a stop bath. And you agitate about 5 times. Okay, there are people that use stop bath chemic, but I read online that you could use tap water or distilled water and it works very well. After that, you just pour the water and you put the fixer. So I put it for 5 minutes with agitations every 10 seconds. Why? Because that's what I found on the internet. After that, you put the fixer back into the bottle and it's time to rinse. So you just put tap water and you rinse it 5 times with 20 agitations each. Okay? So you agitate 20 times, then you get rid of the water, then you put water again, you agitate 20 times, and you repeat this 5 times. Okay? So after that it's ready and you just have to hang it and let it dry. You can scan it and see your results. And that was it. I know it seems a lot, I know it has a lot of steps, but if you have all your notes next to you, you are going to see that it's just following instructions. You don't have any real challenge to face. Maybe just put the roll on the spiral, but you can do it. If you are thinking about developing your own stuff but you're scared, just go for it. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope this video was useful and motivating for you, and see you in the next video. Remember to subscribe. Bye bye.